I had a client tell me once, Michele, I know that it normally takes two people to argue, right? But with a malignant narcissist, it really only takes one person. One malignant narcissist present can cause an emotional warfare, whether the other party wants it or not. So today I want to show you how to argue with a narcissist without giving narcissistic supply. Now, the purpose of this video isn't so that you go out and try to argue with a narcissist. No, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is if you are in relationships with people that are malignant narcissists that cause fights over nothing that you can't seem to avoid because it only takes one to fight, right? Then these tools are going to help you to be able to stay grounded in yourself and to be able to stand up for yourself and call out bad behavior without giving narcissistic supply. So if you find yourself in relationships with people that you can't avoid, right? Whether it's at work, whether it's in the family, whether it's with a significant other, and you're getting into drama battles that are depleting you of energy, that are causing you to act like someone you're really not, then you're going to want to watch this video. Okay, the first thing that you need to understand is what goes on inside the mind of a narcissist when you're arguing, what's their mindset, and what is your mindset. I want to just point out the differences between them, because if we don't notice the different mindsets, then we're going to fall into behaviors that are going to give narcissistic supply and deplete you of energy. Let's compare what a healthy mindset sounds like or looks like with what the mindset of a malignant narcissist is, okay? In a healthy relationship, a partner is willing to at least try to understand the other person's perspective. Understanding someone's perspective doesn't mean that you agree with them. It just shows that you have the ability to see that their perspective is different than yours, right? Well, the mindset of the narcissist is there is only one perspective, my perspective. It's my way or the highway. And they never see the other person's perspective, and it's not even a goal of theirs to try to see your perspective. The goal of a healthy relationship in an argument, most of the time, the goal is to try to establish peace. It's to try to work through the argument so that you can reach a happy medium, right? Where both parties are happy. Well, the goal of the malignant narcissist is to create drama, because the more emotion you are giving out, the more they are feeding on that narcissistic supply. So their goal isn't about peace. Their goal isn't about reconciliation. It's about creating chaos and drama. In a healthy relationship, there is empathy, right? Nobody wants to purposely hurt their significant other. Whereas with a malignant narcissist, there is no empathy. What the narcissist wants to kind of drill into you is that his mindset should be what's being recognized, right? He wants you to only look at his perspective, and he's trying to push that on you. Well, guess what? If you haven't swallowed that truth pill that this is how they are, that this is their mindset, and there's nothing you can do that will change it, no matter how you present it, no matter how much you try to get through, no matter how much you try to get a different reaction from them, when you finally recognize that this is who they are, then you stop trying to put your mindset onto them. One of the biggest mistakes of someone in a relationship with a malignant narcissist is that they keep trying. Rather than accepting that this is how they are, they keep hoping that they will start to be more like this. And without realizing it, you're actually doing what the narcissist does. You are projecting your mindset onto them, hoping that they can be like that. Now, I get it. It's because you want a healthy mindset in a relationship. It makes sense. But there comes a time where you have to realize this is who they are, and that it's not your job to change them to be more like you, just like you don't want them to change you to be more like them. So the first step, basically, in order to be able to argue without giving supply, is to recognize that this is who they are. They have no empathy. They are not going to see your perspective. They aren't really listening to you. They're simply pausing when you're talking to them, right? And then they continue on almost as if you didn't say anything. This is who they are, and they're not going to change. That's the first step. The second step is to stay grounded in your reality. In other words, if the narcissist says something unkind, abusive, or rude, the mistake that individuals that are targets of malignant narcissists, the mistake that they make is treating the narcissist as if they are a healthy person. What do you do when somebody says something that hurts you in a healthy relationship? Well, you tell them how you feel. I feel this. This makes me feel like this. And your focus is on your feelings and what their actions have done to you. That's healthy behavior if you're dealing with a healthy person. But a malignant narcissist doesn't see you as separate from them. They see you as an extension of themselves, and they see you as someone that's holding all of the negative and bad that they possess, right? So no matter how much you try to show them you and who you are, you're only going to be exasperated. You're going to start over-explaining. And when you're doing that, it doesn't feel good, especially when no matter how clearly you explain it, especially when they continue to invalidate what's going on inside of you. And the sad part is when a malignant narcissist is watching you get over-exasperated, they're watching you get frustrated at the inability to prove your own reality. Your emotions are just, starting to rise, and you're starting to feel more emotional. And the only thing they're thinking is, wow, look how I affect this person emotionally. I must be so powerful. Look at how exasperated this person is just because they need my stamp of approval in order to hold on to their reality. I must be really important. That's what they're thinking on a subconscious level. So the second step is to stop over-explaining. Stop trying to get through to the toxic person. Stop trying to show them who you are, and start recognizing that you don't need anyone else to approve of your reality in order for you to have your own reality or to trust your own reality. A phrase that is very helpful for a lot of people that are in that situation, something they start to say to themselves when they're first learning to put these tools into practice, is they'll say something like, well, they're allowed to see it that way, and I'm still allowed to have my own reality. He or she's allowed to invalidate me. I mean, it sucks, I don't like it, but I can't force them to validate me, but I'm so happy that I can validate myself, and I know what happened. I know this is abuse. I know this is unkind treatment. I don't need them to agree with me in order for me to recognize it. Okay, so you stay grounded in yourself. The third step is the observe, don't absorb. Okay, and I know I say that a lot, and sometimes people will tell me, Michele, but isn't observe, don't absorb just allowing them to treat you bad? So in this step, it's not that you're allowing them to treat you bad as much as you are not allowing them to have power over your emotions. That's the purpose of the observe, don't absorb. Because an argument with a narcissist can get really brutal. There are things that you would never say to your significant other, even if you were in a fight. It's like this unspoken rule, right? There's certain lines we don't cross with people we love, even if we're upset or angry. Narcissists don't go by those same rules. They don't have any rules. So they're really cruel. And the observe, don't absorb is going to help you to not allow their cruelness to lower your emotional state. And the last step is how you can stand up for yourself without giving supply. So I talked about in the beginning how we don't try to show the other person how we're feeling because they're not going to see it anyway. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay silent and allow somebody or tolerate when somebody is being abusive. But rather than putting the focus on you, which is what the narcissist wants you to do, right? So that they can spin it. For example, if you say something like, that hurts my feelings, what will they say? You're so sensitive. You always cause a problem. I can't believe you're blah, blah, blah. So you're focusing on you, and the toxic person is focusing on you, and no one's focusing on the toxic behavior. So how you stand up for yourself without giving supply is, it's almost like taking a mirror and putting it in front of the malignant narcissist and showing them who they are. Instead of showing them who you are, you show them who they are. So what that sounds like is you say something like, that's a really mean thing to say. Or that's really unloving. Or you could say something like, wow, you're really raging really bad right now. You seem out of control. You seem really angry. You put the focus on them, and no matter what they say, you don't explain, you don't change focus, it's just that one statement. And if you see that they don't want to stop, which is normal, because if you're doing things this way, you're not giving narcissistic supply, so you're not doing what they're used to you doing. So when you stop and you kind of break out of the mold that they've put you in, they're going to notice, and they're not going to like it. Okay, these behaviors, this way of handling it isn't about getting the toxic person to change. It isn't about getting the arguments to be more rational or healthy by both parties. The purpose of handling things this way is so that you can stay you. You can stay grounded emotionally. You can stay within the boundaries of your personality, right? Because once we start falling for the traps of the malignant narcissist, we start acting in ways. We can fall into reactive abuse. We can fall into a fight response that causes us to lose control, which is exactly what they want. And that's pushing you outside the boundaries of who you are. So when you handle it like this, you're staying you, okay? So remember, the toxic person isn't going to like it. They may get worse. They're going to escalate because they're going to start poking in so many different ways, trying to find what causes you to lose balance, because sadly, you having peace and being grounded is not what they're looking for. And if you notice that they continue, then you can simply say, I refuse to continue engaging. I refuse to enter a circular conversation. I refuse to continue this argument. Now, I know that's a lot easier said than done, because I've had some clients tell me that the malignant narcissist would follow them like a non-stopping monologue around the house and continuing on and on and on. Well, some of the things that my clients have done so that they don't get sucked into it even when the narcissist is doing that, they'll go into the smallest room of the house, go into the bathroom, say you have to use the bathroom, take a shower, whatever, do something that allows you to put a barrier between you and the toxic person. Take a walk, make a phone call. They'll usually stop if they know that somebody's going to be listening, but do something that allows you to not stay stuck listening to that never-ending monologue. So again, it's not ideal, and this way of handling it isn't going to create a happy relationship, okay? Because it's still a one-sided relationship, basically. But it is going to help you to feel more like you. It is going to help you to not slip into drama that's going to drain you or cause you to act outside of who you really are. If anyone is struggling putting any of these mindsets and behaviors in practice and they need help as they are working through the dynamics of toxic relationships, please make sure you check out the links in my description box below. I have many different resources that are designed to help you further deepen your healing journey.